Hello everyone and welcome to the first round of Season 4 of Race Department's Formula FG Championship. I'm your host as always, Aidan Kerrinan, and we've finally made it to Season 4. It's taken a lot longer than anybody expected, including myself, but we did get there in the end, and we are here in Melbourne for the first round. A couple of changes obviously around the place, probably in terms of videos. I've had a new microphone since the last race because my last one ended up around my neck, sort of like that's where the microphone ended up. So I'm not too certain on how everything is going to sound. Hopefully it does come through okay. Maybe it's just a case of turning up the volume a little bit. I don't know. Other than that bit of housekeeping, I'm going to say we can go straight to the results from qualifying, and it was Joel Rautavaara who put his Apex, his new look Apex, onto pole position using the Peugeot engine. First time we've seen them get used, and he is alongside Nathan Corns, and that is of course 1-2, or in this case 2 and 1, second and first, from last season's championship. So we're looking forward to seeing what will happen there. Second row, Pablo Deal, Rui Martins. Teammates last year. This year, Rui has Nathan, Pablo has Tapio Rinho, and they're the Falcon team instead. And talking of Tapio Rinho, he starts in 5th place. Definitely a lot of little stories in the top 5. I'm looking forward to seeing what can happen there. Next, and this is the second housekeeping point of the day. It's that time of the season. We're going to have new drivers. We're going to have new names. I'm going to get something wrong. I apologize. I apologize so much. Send me a message if I do just absolutely whiff the name. So I'm going to try Sasha Jednak, perhaps. 6th place on his debut in the black box, and he's got his teammate gonna go with Main Goddard. Probably less likely to have that one right. Second black box. What a fantastic first race for the team. Of course, that was Drift Slide last season. Changed the name, changed the engine, changed the colours, changed the drivers. Already looking a lot better. 8th place, a familiar name perhaps to some, Aidan Kerrinan in the Razor, returning for the first time since Season 1. Omar Saeed in the second Apex, he's returning as well, first time since Season 2. James McNamara in the 2KF1 is the final driver in the top 10. Then going down from there, Josh Nowak in the new DCT, Toby Kadera, yeah, I think I got maybe. For JHR this season, moving a few times last season at JHR now. In 12th, Borjit Mishra in 13th. Another rookie in 14th in Matteo Hammonds, maybe? As I said, send me a message. That's the easiest way to do it. Daniel Harvey in 15th, Ben Utze in 16th, back at Razor, Manolis Sigalakis in 17th. Rob Sharp has ended up at Entech, and as you'll no doubt see in this race, racing the Green Submarine. Jaws didn't have a great qualifying session. Both of the two cars, Jack Lasky, Donald Brugman in 19th and 20th. And then the final row, Aaron Reed, the DTK, and Stefan Berner returning to Entech for a 4th season. So what's up today then? Well, it's going to be a 100% race, more or less, just the same as always. Definitely for me, a couple of drivers to watch out for. I think the Falcons have got an extremely good chance here. Their qualifying was top-notch, 3rd and 5th. They always seem to do very well here in Melbourne. See if they can hold on to that position, because they've whiffed it a couple of times. black box. They might be able to hold their positions. Raven West, I would imagine, would still have a strong result. Apex, yeah, look, Ratvara's at the front, and that's important. If he holds it, I'm not 100% sure. I'd like to think he can, but I think the Falcons are a little bit stronger. God forbid that the 2KF1s catch up. Obviously, McNamara is in 10th. I think he could still get in the top 5. Sigalakis in 17th. Don't really think so. DCT, jury's out, in my opinion, on what they can do. JHR, I think that's about as high as they're going to get. DTK should move forwards. Razor could go forwards or backwards. Entech might not have a great race, to be honest. Jaws could go either way. There's a lot of question marks on a lot of teams because it's quite even, I think, at the end of the day, and that's where qualifying could be very important. But being 100% race, there is a lot of time for things to happen. So then, with that, I think I've talked more than enough already. Let's head over to the grid now, and we'll see all of the cars on track for the first time. It'll be awesome, guys. I hope that it'll be a fantastic race, and I hope you'll join us for what is sure to be a great season. Here we go! And so here we are on the grid then, in Melbourne. It's quick, it's up to 4 lights, it's up to 5 lights. Here we are, Season 4 is underway. And from the start, it looks like Ratvara's gotten a decent start. Corns is starting to go backwards. He'll have to go around the outside, and he's been able to hold it. But it's Ratvara that'll sprint away at the start of Season 4. Great jump there by the Finn. He still leads Corns. Deal there, rather, in 3rd place. Martins will get overtaken by Rinyaho. Jednak in 6th, and McNamara is already up to 7th. Further back, Kadera has gotten up to 9th. He's on the inside of Goddard. He'll pull in alongside. Heyman's there in 11th. It's going to be a long race for me. Saeed's dropped back a little bit. Utsa moving up. Sharp moving up quite a bit as well. Noak falling backwards. Harvey there having a dive bomb. Didn't work out. Brugman up a little bit. Reed up quite a bit. Lasky, same position. Mishra, the big loser there, actually, in 20th. And Sigalakis has fallen quite a bit down as well. So that's the long and short of it, as we have a yellow flag. Hang on, we've seen this before. Jednak here, and that's McNamara. Oh, it's McNamara that's gone around as well in 2KF1. Karanen gets through there. Yednak's in the gravel trap, and they're going to have to wait for the entire field to go by. So that's not a good start for Black Box. Jednak in the gravel is probably worse for 2KF1 with such a good car. Sigalakis in 20th, McNamara in 21st. Going to be a long day for the home team. Go back to the front here with Rautavara. Yeah, I fancy that Corns is just starting to creep up onto the back of him a little bit. Of course, Apex trialing the new Chrome Silver and Matte Black, or Matte Black and Chrome Silver, I really should say, in that order. Fantastic looking car. And also a change to Peugeot engines, and probably Peugeot have made engines every single season, but this season they actually delivered something that I think is actually useful, which is saying something. Haven't done it previously. So they're looking good, and possibly a win in their first race today for Peugeot. 2 Falcons, Deal leading Rinyaho. See what they can do. Mercedes had a nice strong engine. anything's possible for them today. They've had some good races here. Rinyaho, of course, won in Melbourne last season, led the championship, possibly again today. Round of our fastest lap, 1 minute 30.3. Keranen is up to 6th. Goddard into 7th. Kadera in 8th at the moment for JHR. He's got the rookie Haymans. I think I've said it 3 different ways already. We're only on lap 3. Saeed has gotten himself into the top 10 as a result. Utsa into 11th. Rob Sharp, and just look at that entry. Doesn't it just look massive? Fantastic to see a wide variety of cars, that especially. Trialing a different style of housing the engine, which is open to all the elements. See if it's going to be quite as successful as the last 2 NTECs, which of course did extremely well. Now they're returning the new team DCT. Just ahead of Daniel Harvey in a new look DTK, that must be said. Trialing what can only be described as, it's halfway between, it's somewhere in between DTK, late 2000s Renault and a Honda of the same era. It's an interesting one, that's for sure. A return to yellow. But I'd like to think that they're not even the most yellow team on the grid. Rudman in the new Jaws. Wasn't going to be this colour, but ended up that it is. There's Lasky there has been overtaken by 2 people. He's about to get overtaken by a 3rd. He's one of the 2 KF1s. It's Sigalakis there, going to try up the inside. He gets it done. Here is the more yellow than DTK yellow car. I generally get. I think there's a bit more to it. Still, and it's called a black box. Of all things, still formerly formerly Drift Slide rather. It's a great looking car, that's for sure. And up until that little collision, Jednak was doing very well. Of course, Goddard is still doing well. See if director cut works. Don't think it will. We'll go back on board with Corns here. I think he's actually lost a little bit of time since we've last looked. It's not too much. In about 2 laps, I think he's lost 0.2 of a second. So you can't really say too much about that. Holding a comfortable 3.5 seconds back to Pablo Deal, who in turn is starting to pull a little bit away from Tapio Rinyaho here, I would fancy. Ree Martins in the 2nd Raven West. And Aiden Keranen, last time raced at Melbourne in Formula FG. It was the first race of the championship and he ended up winning that. See if he can back that up today. Maine Goddard. Everybody would know him probably for his famous exploits in the Formula 1 series. I think he's mainly known as being a Minardi man. I think he was in McLaren in 1988. There's Matteo Haymans. I'll try. I think I'll Haymans. We'll go with that. First Belgian we've had in the series. That really should give me an indication of how to pronounce it, shouldn't it? I don't know. I apologise to you, Matteo. I hope that I pronounced your first name right, at least. So far, it's looking good for him and DCT. Currently holding in 8th position. It's very early in the race. We're only a 10th of the way through. But it's better to be in 8th at this point than to be in 19th. compared to a team that should be doing a lot better. As Kadera here under pressure from Saeed, and that is a slick pass down the inside there by the Turk. Great to see him back in the series. It's Utsa now. Used to drive for Kadera. He's going to try to go down the inside at turn 3. Won't get it done. Kadera holds, but it's going to be a long day for the JHR driver. Daniel Harvey starting to get a little bit closer to the back of them. There you go. You can just see the size difference there. You watch the DTK, and then you look at the NTEC right behind it. It must be daunting. Look, like you don't even need the wheels on that NTEC, and it's bigger than the DTK. It's fantastic. Bonus points. Bonus points from me. For pretty much no reason. Here is Mishra now in the second JHR. It's Heyman's actually that ends up getting fastest lap. The DCT working well then. As Kadera locks up, Utsa does go through at the first corner. That's let Harvey get straight onto the back of him now. It's not just Harvey, Rob Sharp as well will look on board from him. Look at the size of this thing, it doesn't even fit in the screen. And Harvey does end up getting past Kadera. What can Sharp do? Sharp spending 2, I think, quite successful seasons at Falcon. Did get a win for the Hungarian team in Season 2. Looking to recreate that sort of form at NTEC, which should be possible. Forwards, and Corns is slowly catching up a little bit. He's down to 9/10 behind Rautavaara now. We'll see if what he can do. He can get onto the back of the Apex. Then what can he do from there? Distinctive purple topped helmet. As Deal under pressure here from Rinyaho. 2 teammates. According to their manager Lintner before the race, Mark Lintner, they weren't expecting the result that they did in qualifying. So happy surprise. We'll see what they can get in the race. Martin's slowly getting caught by Karanen. Goddard, Heymans as well. As Kadera and Sharp have actually gotten away from Nowak here by quite a bit. Sigalakis through on Mishra. Jednak has actually caught up to the back of him quite well. There was a lock up there. I think it was Mishra, so he's in a lot of strife now. Lasky not going to get close enough to make to force a pass, as we have a yellow flag yet again. And it's Rinyaho. Oh, you would surely not. And it is the 2 Falcons coming down into the first corner here. Rinyaho just taps the back of Deal. Round he goes. Deal takes to the grass. He will get out of it absolutely unscathed. Although he's lost a lot of time, and he's going to be under pressure there from the Raven West of Rui Martins. Rinho comes back onto the track. He's right ahead of Omar Saeed. As Martins is actually through. Rui Martins, driving the Raven West, moves into third place ahead of Pablo Deal, ahead of Keranen, Goddard, and Heymans, just a little bit further behind. Rinho a little bit further back here is in 8th place. Omar Saeed just behind him. We'll see what he can do. Utsa and Harvey giving chase. Cadera still holding out sharp. Mishra still holding back Lasky as well. About to get to 10 laps. Okay, Lasky defying the laws of physics. Oh, nope. That's actually broken something. Turns out you can't go through a wall without getting an oil leak.
Try and get back.
We'll see if the Brit can actually do that. There goes the back of the car. The engine is screaming, it's wailing. Jednak puts him into the wall instead. Get out of here, son. Oh, and that has done it. Oh, he was already gone before then, sadly. Engine expired, but Jednak wasn't waiting around. Cheeky of him. And something interesting in his first race. Lasky, though, his Audi engine, Audi stepping up to Tier 2, committing themselves to the series. Not a great look for them to have an oil leak in 10 laps of the Australian Grand Prix. We'll see if this might force the director's cut to do something. We'll quickly sneak through. Nothing much is really changing at the front, so... Ah, bugger. Oh well, lost that opportunity, I guess. Martins actually pulling away a little bit from Deal here. They are forming quite a queue. Goddard has actually fallen off the 3 ahead of him. Heymans is right behind. They're going to be perhaps dive down the straight. Thinking about it, not really. More than anything, Goddard was defending just in case. Oh, now he looks to the outside, turn 3, ducks to the inside. Can't get the move done. Goddard will hold on. That's just going to be allowing Rinho to slowly catch up. He's pulled away a little bit there from Saeed. It's a watch out for Daniel Harvey. It's on the move. Cadera still holding 12th place. Sharp falling off the back of the German actually a little bit. Noah catching up a little bit. Brugman is there, Reed, Berner, Sigalakis. And Jednak after going into the back of the expired Jaws. As here we go, Corns. A lot closer here. How much closer can he get? It's just half a second between these two. They've pulled away completely. 10 seconds ahead of Rui Martins in the second Raven West. You know, by the looks of it, both of these guys are ready to start this season off where they left off last season, which was beat the crap out of each other. Ratavara, of course, had a lot of wins in the end of that season, and he's quite unlucky not to get it, as I think Heymans has gotten past Goddard, I think we just saw on the telemetry below. Indeed he has. In fact, well, might be something a bit more to it. It's quite close here. Had a little bit of a look. They're slow. You can see how much they're slowing down as a result of all of this. Down the main straight now. Eamon's not really moving. He's doing the right thing. Ducks down the inside. Bit of a touch. Gets the front. Gets the front of the car up off the ground. Goddard loses time. Nearly going to lose position there to Rinyaho. Did well under brakes to keep the position. Has allowed Saeed a little bit of time to catch up as well. Back to the front, just 0.4 of a second then. Rautavaara actually a little bit worried there that Corns was going to go for a Hail Mary dive down the inside. He's got a run on him here. Corns could look for something down. Geez, I can't remember the name of this one. It could be turn 13. Decides better of it. Really close between these two guys. Battle for the lead at the Australian Grand Prix. New look Apex, Peugeot engine versus Raven West, Honda. Down the straight they come, Corns. He's close, it's 0.2 of a second. He's going to look, he's going to have to go down the outside if he wants it. He can't. Rautavaara does just enough there. What about into turn 3? This is usually a good opportunity to get it done. Corns not going to be close enough. Holds the line and he'll try to keep it for another lap. As something may have happened in the chase group. Or perhaps not. Bit of a gap has opened out there all of a sudden. They weren't this far apart. Goddard, meanwhile, has Rinyaho all over the back of him. Saeed just struggling to keep the pace. He's going to have to be careful. Utsa and Harvey both catching up. Harvey especially to the back of Utsa. Going to be pushing that Razor along very soon. It's back 9 seconds to Cadera. Just doesn't have the pace in that JHR, the Mugen Honda engine. Not the best is a good way of putting it. Rob Sharp just inviting anybody to try to get around that thing. Noack in chase. Brugman is there. Reed just onto the back of this group. Burner Sigalakis is not keeping up with this pace. Mishra has Jednak, who has overtaken McNamara. Back to the front then, and I don't think Corns is anywhere near close enough this time. Depends how they get through turns 1 and 2. And I don't think anything will happen. Likewise, further back should be easy hold here for Rui Martins. We're back here after some technical fiddling around to try to fix some things. And we have been able to fix director mode, so we're very happy here to be able to bring you what you want to see, which is everything. As we go back to Cadera here, who's pulled out 2.5 seconds to Rob Sharp. Didn't expect that to be happening. The JHR pulling them away from the Entech with surprising ease. Just see how long into the race that he's able to take that. Back to the front here, Rautavaara still has Corns right behind. Harvey is actually right behind Ben Utsa. Not sure how far up the road is Saeed. Harvey's going to have a look down the inside here. Not able to get it down. Rautavaara still holding Corns behind him. By the looks of it, in the mirror, I don't think Corns is going to be quite close enough this lap. It's always a great thing that you can look in the mirror and you can see the front of the mirror. That's a new one. That is most definitely a new one. So Apex have, much like Jack Lasky earlier, although that wasn't to great effect, Apex have been able to break the laws of physics. Congratulations to them. It could be a camera. Could be 2 cameras on the front of the car. We'll have to ask Mr. Anchevsky exactly how he's done that. That is wondrous. Apex at the forefront of technology. And Cadera there just throwing the car through the corners 4 and 5. Got a lot of work to do to be able to get this car to a suitable position. It's going to be a struggle for this team. They showed some fantastic composure last season. Rookie teammates. Oh, Mishra taken out. Jednak and McNamara in a argument there as to who should be going in which direction. Just a little bit slow there. I will take it back a little bit further. Jednak down the inside. Mishra defending quite strongly. And McNamara there just decides with Jednak, no, you wait for me to go by. So a little bit of a disagreement there. More than anything ends up McNamara taking a lot of time. He's breaking the laws of physics there. And Jednak just loses more time. But he caught up. That's the second time those two have come together today. He caught up quite easily last time. See if he can do it again. Here is teammate. Here is his teammate, Main Goddard. He's got Tapio Rinyaho behind by half a second. He's lost 4.5 to Matteo Heymans. Down into turn 3. Looked like he was defending a little bit. Gets it. The turn in though. Everything's fine. There is 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th. It does seem like there's quite a lot of fuel in that Raven West. Probably looking to get to about halfway. Some other drivers might be looking at 2 stops. Corns here right onto the back of Yol Rautavaara. Through the final corner they come. It's going to be about 2/10 over the line, I would fancy. He's in the slipstream. What can he do? He's making Rautavaara have to move around a little bit. Rautavaara moves to the inside. Then he ducks back to the outside. Corns will go down the inside. He can't make it stick. Rautavaara is still holding. Oh, let's just leave that. He's still holding down into turn 3. Here comes Corns. Is he going to make a move? No, he won't. Fantastic driving by both men there. Corns goes down the inside, does leave the room because Rautavaara is still there. Rautavaara doesn't turn into him or anything like that. They hold their positions. All of the pieces are still on the cars as intended. Corns there looking, ducking under braking. Doing whatever he can. I think he's lost a little bit of time through all that, but he'll catch up, no doubt. Fantastic moves. As Saeed has pulled away a little bit from Utsa. Utsa having to worry about the DTK behind him instead. Cadera again caught by Sharp yet again. Nowak as well, as Berner has been taken by Sigalakis. The Greek driver now setting his sights onto Aaron Reed. Going around the outside almost there of the Australian. And Sigalakis is all over the back of Reed here. He's trying to make a move anywhere possible, and it's quite light, that 2KF1 at the moment, so that would explain it. McNamara a long way behind, as is Yednak. On board with Rautavaara, I believe, I think at one point it was the ACE, I think it's the ARTCE Championship Edition car. Does look the part. I wonder if the silver was just to signify that they didn't win drivers. I wonder. Finished second. Otherwise it could have been gold. Think about that one. Here instead though, with Main Goddard, he's still holding behind. He's still holding Rinyaho behind. Martins not really catching up to his illustrious teammate, defending champion. That being said, he's not getting taken by Pablo Deal at all. Here comes Harvey, having a look there on Utsa. Down into turn 13, no way through there. And that's fair enough. He'll be looking to stay close to the German. Possibly have an attempt down into turn 1. It's going to be a long race for these two. You can just tell it could well be a classic as well. Utsa now does take the line, so Harvey hasn't been able to get to him though. Trying to look in the mirrors and can't quite see him just yet. Oh, there he is. He's looking on the inside. Oh, sorry, the outside rather. I think Utsa has done well to defend. And he'll drive out of that one with the position. Back to Martins. Just looking behind to see. Keranen and Heymans are looking ready to get into a battle. Harvey down the inside there of Utsa. Both give each other a lot of room. Sigalakis chasing down Reed. New look 2KF1 with the new manager. Jamie Cox jumping out of the NTEC seat, taking over the team. Promptly rehiring the drivers, and they were looking good. They were favourites. They must have been amongst the favourites for this round, but not showing fantastic signs at the moment. Martins definitely losing time to Corns. And yeah, he's losing a little bit of time to Pablo Deal as well. That'll be the fluctuations of being behind. He is just losing time to Corns, however. Here is his teammate. Raven West, of course, haven't won a race, because while they evolved out of Speedy, who had, they are seen as being two different teams. So they haven't won a race. They've scored one, off the top of my head, one or maybe two podiums last season, which of course was their first season. Possibly a double podium on offer today. Possibly a win. All comes down to what Nathan Corns can do. Keranen here having to defend from Heymans. They're losing the back of Pablo Deal rather quickly. Harvey still all over the back of Utsa. Going to have a look down the inside now. Turn 3. Utz is in a bit of strife. Shimmying up to the corner. He will hold it on the outside. Takes the inside takes the racing line rather for the fourth corner. Here comes Sigalakis on the second DCK. Can't find a way through there. Lots of close but not quite passes so far this race. Ratavara now. Still holding 0.6 of a second to corners. Everyone's being very nice to each other, is probably the best way to put it. Keranen and Heymans. Down the inside goes the Belgian. Great move from the rookie. He takes it to Keranen, gets the position. Goddard and Rinyaho just behind. Not to mention Saeed. So far it's a top 5 for DCT, their first race. Great signs for them for this season. Here is the second DCT. And we'll look away from it. Go back to Nathan Corns and Yoel Ratavara at the front of the race. Controlling the pace, and they can control the pace because nobody's keeping up with them. It's a fantastic showing from these two drivers. Martins just does not have the speed. Not only that, but I think he is worried a little bit more about Deal just behind him. Could have been an interesting two-pronged attack from Raven West if they wanted to, but I can see their point. Now then, down the straight. Corns is looking close yet again. You can already see Ratavara is moving sideways. Defending the line, does duck back to the racing line, however. Harvey can't make it through. Reed under pressure here from Sigalakis, who has a fantastic run on the Australian. He's already got the pass done. Look at that. Oh, Reed is now going to duck back down the inside at turn 13. Sigalakis goes very wide there. Holds the speed fantastically well. Werner having a little look at Reed there. Won't find his way through. 2KF1 driver, however, is through into 16th. He's going to continue his march up the field. Corns. Just to put it in perspective, Manola Sigalakis has taken him 23 laps to make up one position on his start. As Corns here, possibly under braking there on Ratavara, we'll have to go find it ourselves. Nope, he can't get it done, and there is the gap. You see it, it's happened a few times this race already, I think. Saw it before. Corns is finding spots that, try the overtake, but it's not working for you there, mate. And loses a lot of time. This could be settled in the pit lane by the looks of it, which is a shame. You'd like to see it settled more on the track, but you could sort of understand. That being said, if Corns did get ahead in the pit lane, Ratavara could have fresher tyres by the look of it at the end, just looking at what possibly the strategy could be. Corns there having lost 0.7 of a second, but even then he's caught up nearly a 10th in that last sector. Martins then holding down third, just keeping Deal at bay, who has Heymans behind him, who's going to be coming in for his first pit of his FFG career. He's dropped Keranen by a good 2 seconds already. Goddard and Rinyaho chasing down the Australian. Saeed a little bit further behind, then it's a long way back, 10 seconds back to Ben Utsa, who's still holding off Daniel Harvey. Toby Kadera in the lead, JHR. He's got his work cut out for him today to be able to get anywhere. It's a good looking car, this white and purple. Fantastic. Do like the look of it. But he's going to have to hold back the green submarine or Rob Sharp. I don't know why, I only seem to mention it for Rob, but it's the same for Stefan as well. Noak then, just behind. He's not really making an impression on his first race for the team. Not to mention, it is technically his home race in terms it's the Australian Grand Prix. I know the Adelaide circuit is later in the season, but a bit of fight from him wouldn't be too bad. Sigalakis now, he's making his way up. He's catching up. He's dropped Reed completely. Berner just behind in this second NTEC. Mishra, then McNamara, who might be actually getting something going. Jednak quite a bit back for Black Box. And Haymans is into the pits. Corns and Ratavar are close. So in comes the Belgian. He's been followed in by Rinyaho. See who's going to get out of there first. And they're going to be behind this massive pack. Haymans will hold his position and he'll hold it well. Oh, and meanwhile we've had Reed and Berner. Berner a long way behind, but he's getting a nice slipstream here. He's caught up a lot of space very quickly. Manages to miss the back of Reed and then manages to clip the back of Reed. Both of them spun around there. Mishra having to go a long way around Rinyaho and a stricken Entech. McNamara gets stuck behind the fin. Jednak goes through. Berner's spun himself around, as has Reed. So the gigantic Entech gets going again, and off he goes. Reed going to have to lick his wounds. Not sure if it was entirely his fault. They both didn't help each other though. Ratavar and Corns, however, will have a look on board with the defending champ. He's catching up. A little bit similar to Berner there, but Berner just caught up so much in that last section of the straight. Now then, Corns, ducking and weaving. He'll have a look to the inside, decides better of it. That apex must be fantastic under brakes. A lot of confidence there from Rautavaara. Martin still holding off Deal. It's now Keranen behind, not Haymans. Goddard, Saeed there. Utsa, Harvey's come into the pits then. So they're probably going to try to undercut. As here we see Sharp having a look at Kadera. We just saw the other Entech make a mockery of the first corner. He gets it around there. It looked like it was a hell of a struggle to get it around. As we've got 4 cars vying for one bit of track. Sigalakis at the back, behind Noak, Brugman in the middle, Sharp there. Tricky, and Kadera's just going to pull away a little bit through all of that. Back to the front though. I fancy Corns must be coming in soon. On board then with Rautavaara. You can see back to the Raven West here. Corns is close, it's not all that close though. On the brakes a little bit. Through turn 2. This is where he might be able to catch up a little bit, Corns. On the run to turn 3. Don't think there's going to be anything there though. East Rain will just hold position. Goddard is in the lane then currently. I think Kadera might sneak by. He will. Indeed, all of this group will. Haymans as well. Indeed, he will go around the outside there of Goddard, who eventually gets out. He's just ahead of Orchard Mishra. And then the Indian there having a look down the inside. Goddard's got to be careful here. He's not actually fighting with Mishra. Mishra's a long way behind. As Burno's into the pit lane. Ratabar and Corns though, it's gotten close yet again. Down to 1/10 of a second at the last intermediate. What about this time? He actually lost a little bit of time there, Corn, so it's not going to be quite as close. You can see Burner's just ahead of him. This could shake it up a little bit. What's going to happen with that? Sigalakis now having a look on the inside of Noak. Not going to work. He's got the other DCT behind him somewhere. And back he'll duck into the pits then. Here is 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th. Still quite a long way behind the leader. McNamara in the second 2K F1 trying to get past Mishra. That actually is for position. Fast approaching half distance here in Melbourne. McNamara down the inside. Successfully does nothing but slow the both of them down. And in doing that, it's also slowing down Rinyaho. Got to remember, Rinyaho is he's actually in the top 10 for a stop. As I think we've got some pit lane activity now. Corns and Ratavar still holding position. Keranen and Saeed both in. Top 2 teams from last season. And the Razor Boys actually get Keranen out 3/10 of a second faster than Saeed. Where are they going to come out though? Out comes Keranen. Noak has to go around the long way. And he's pretty much he spooked himself there. You see there's Keranen coming out of the pit lane. They're both going to come down to the first corner. Noak thinks better not turn in on that. Round he goes. Caymans will get through again on Keranen, so that's a position held through all that. I think Goddard has actually lost position to Saeed. Rinyaho lost quite a bit of distance. Noak then, he's come out just behind Aaron Reed, 2 Australians. Sigalakis is pitted as well, he's quite a long way back. As is Burner. And back to the front with these two. Corns is going to be coming in at the end of this lap. Can he get through before then? Won't really matter, it won't even come up on the score sheet that he's done it. He stays close enough to Ratavar throughout this lap. He's going to have a look down the inside now. Oh, nearly contact between the 2 cars. Corns down the inside. He's going to... Can he get the better drive out of the corner? He can. He'll take the racing line through turn 4, and Nathan Corns does take the lead of the Australian Grand Prix. We'll look at this again. On board here with the Australian. So close to contact there with Ratavar. He's on the inside, but he gets the foot down, gets the position. Great move. Let's see if we can... Here we go. A little bit of a closer view from Corns. Into slow motion. These 2 Pirellis. Oh, both of them. They must have just shaved each other almost. And just gets a little bit more traction than Rautavaara, just gets on the power a little bit earlier. But he's going to be pitting this lap, so it's not going to come up on the lap sheet that he's taken the lead specifically. But he's got a lead now over Rautavaara, so if he loses, even if he's 0.3 of a second slower than Rautavaara in his pit stop at this point in time, they'll come out at about the same position, and then it depends on. You also got to remember, Corns is going to be having the undercut. Yeah, going to have the fresher tyres early, so Corns very important to get the lead of the race. He's been able to do it. He is pulling away from Rautavaara substantially. If only this had happened early, he would probably have walked away with this race. But it's not over just yet. Rautavaara will be able to take back the lead. As there goes Corns. Rautavaara back into the lead of the race, and he'll hold it. But Corns is in the lane. Out comes Nowak. Oh, Nowak has done the same thing to Rautavaara as what happened to Rautavaara. Now this is silly because in this situation, Nowak, you're about to be a lap down. It's not going to make a difference. In comes Rautavaara to take the racing line. And guess who is pretty much right there on the apex? Martin's going to come through. Deal's going to come through. Corns is practically going to come out. Now there might be a problem, in fact, for Rautavaara. He's stuck on the wall, perhaps here. Something not right with the apex. Corns is actually going to come out. He's going to be right back behind the apex car, and well, that's not what he would have expected. Rui Martins now leads the race from Pablo Deal. Both cars expected in rather soon. Rautavaara, question marks about exactly what's happened there. Cadera holding 5th place currently for JHR. Rob Sharp in 6th in the green submarine. Brugman in 7th. Matteo Heymans in 8th currently. He's ahead of Karen, and they've both pitted, as has Saeed, as has Goddard. Mishra has not at this point. Grinyaho has. Yednak has not. Utsa has. Harvey has. So Utsa actually has gapped Harvey quite a considerable amount through the pit stops. Nearly 2 seconds. Reed yet to stop there in the second DTK, and there is Sigalakis chasing down points perhaps for 2KF1. Second 2KF1, McNamara there is a long way behind. Stefan Berner, and then Josh Nowak is the final car before we get back to the leaders. That is probably a fantastic time to be able to say that. We'll take a break now. We'll be back for the final 26 odd laps. It'll be a short one. It'll be a good one. Do hope that everybody will be able to join us then for the second half. We'll see you right after this.